Xàtiva is a great option if you're looking for a full day getaway. It's 60 kilometers away from Valencia city, so that means it's about a 50-minute train ride. Its main attractions are its historic quarter and imposing medieval castle. With historical tales and prominent architecture that have an obvious influence from Romans, Arabs, and Christians, this city is definitely an experience. Including this damn prison cell. Yeah. I'll just show you. Wow. Here are the 5 things that we're glad we did in Xàtiva. Let's start with coming from Valencia. A regular round-trip train ride can cost from around €3.50 to €5, and that's why the first thing we're glad we did was taking the train. These trips can be a little long, so make sure you have a book or headphones with you so you can relax while in transit. When I say relax on the train, I meant it, because since everything here is walkable, you guessed it, you're going to do a lot of walking. Which is a good thing, because coming out of this place, we needed all the steps we could get. So the second thing that we're glad we did in Xàtiva was to go have a nice lunch at Casa La Abuela. Thanks to so many people online, this place came in highly recommended. We even met the grandson. That's his grandma, and that's his dad. They're the go-to for authentic Spanish food in Xàtiva. Our default strategy is always getting the Menú del Día, which is normally a good idea if you don't know what to get or if it's the first time you're trying a place. So for the Menú del Día, we get all 4 first course meals and I get to choose 1 second course meal. After a very nice meal, we started our journey. While walking, we could see the castle from afar, which, judging by how tiny it looks from where we were, made us rethink our strategy. Initially, we wanted to walk all the way up, but instead, we walked to the third thing that we're glad we did, the Tourist Information Center. Okay, we're gonna try to go on foot to at least the first 4 or 5 or 6 closer stuff, and then maybe we're gonna get a cab. The lady from the Tourist Information Center showed us a map of the nearby locations, which were open at that time and what time they closed. So off we went to the fourth thing that we're glad we did, visit the nearby attractions. Some of the museums were unfortunately closed and it sucked because they were the free ones. But those that were open had a very decent price, so it wasn't too bad. The cool thing was, instead of paying for each, you could purchase a ticket for €6 and get access to a visit to the castle and the municipal museum. First stop, the Museu de l'Almodí. After finishing up with our second museum, we realized that there was no way that we'd make it in time if we walked all the way up to the castle. Which brings me to the fifth thing we're glad we did in Xàtiva: take the cab all the way up to the castle. The ride was around 11 euros, which wasn't too bad, but also it's either that or walk an hour all the way up to the castle. Which we're glad we didn't do because look at that view. Well, we just walked. What?
2 seconds.
We're still walking.
Hey, I'm glad we took a cab. The way was that 30 minutes.
This fortress is located on top of Mount Vernissa and is divided into two parts, the Castell Menor and the Castell Mayor. When descending from the castle, you get the view of the imposing walls that surround the Alto Medieval Xàtiva, which is considered a national cultural heritage. The fortress was used as a state prison by the former Crown of Aragon. Illustrious prisoners such as Jaume de Urgell were imprisoned in this dungeon. To be honest, at first I was glad that there weren't a lot of people around because that meant that we were going to be able to get great photos. That is, until we came across the prison. That feeling of joy and excitement of not having people around immediately vanished. As soon as Bea said that there's a tiny little entrance to the holding cell, I knew I was gonna go in.
I'll just show you. Wow.
Diyos ko, sana wala tayong makuha. Yung dala sumpa dito.
Oh no. This is
Yeah, well, it's a prison. Before, remember? Oh, loose.
Watch out.
Okay, I'm never gonna commit a crime in the 17th century. I promise. Holy crap. Now we head back down to Castell Menor. Located at the steep wall of Peña Roja and facing east, we can find the oldest part of the castle. It is said that the daughter of King Murko of Castulo, Himilce, gave birth here to a son of the Carthaginian general Hannibal. So much walking, but so beautiful. Like these videos, they look like crap compared to when you're actually here. Like how humongous and how beautiful everything is. Since the castle is already closing, let me quickly talk about the 3 things that we wished we did in Xàtiva. First thing is, we should have gone earlier in the day. Xàtiva is a full day activity, and since we came in late, most of the exhibits were closed. Second, we should have tried the arroz al forn in Casa la Abuela. And third, the most important thing, I should have worn better shoes. That's it, we're getting kicked out. Last people to leave. And since it's already closing time, we're just walking down. They say it's going to take about 30 minutes to walk out. So we'll see. All the way up there. Now we're walking and we don't know where we're going. Okay, this really feels like a movie because we're going through a really tiny Spanish village to go to the train station. So wish us luck!
10-minute walk